Hello and welcome to the show. We are back continuing our street racing career, and the Salmon Schafter is going to get its first run. And well, this is a good place to come and test its top speed. We've got a 4-car street race going on that runs around some of the sort of the top of the maps of the motorways around there. So there is, well, potential for, well, I say potential. It's a good test of the car's actual sort of top speed because of the length of the track. It's a little bit more difficult in terms of being a spectator. You can't really watch the action outside of the cinematic camera modes. It seems to be an interesting variety of cars have turned up here, from a retro Comet to a Panto. The Feltzer with the mighty wing is over there. There's a couple of muscle cars. Yeah. I don't know what to expect from the cars. And of course, there's always the possibility of there now being sleepers, of there being cars that are massively quick, or massively quicker than they can normally be. There's a drag habanero that, let's see if that has got crazy performance. Maybe the Zion has got oh, we've got a wheelie going on. Look at the launch from the, look at that thing go. The Buccaneer will fly away, but we have got some corners to contend with. It looks like a real handful through those turns. That thing is so quick. In fact, it's too quick. He's lost control of it coming into the tunnel. Can he get it going? He will, but the Mamba's going to come flying past. Here comes the Habanero and the Zion. No, they're not going to do anything. Good God, that car is savagely fast. In fact, he's still going to win. The Dragster Sabre crashes. Oh, the Habanero flipped off of the back. That was an exciting race. I do not want to go anywhere near that Sabre. My good God, the Habanero killed himself in that crash. That was a devastating race in many ways. We've got Retro Custom Mamba. It's a big money race, actually, between all of us. Oh, the Mamba as in the Dukes that's called Mamba is racing. The actual Mamba, the Retro Custom, and my Schafter. Oh dear, I have got the faster AI mod installed. It is highly recommended for, certainly when it comes to these street races, highly recommended if you want to be getting the AIs to drive even vaguely competitive. But that does mean they will go very quick in some of the horrendously high tier cars. And, well, we saw what could happen with that Sabre. Still, though, he got going so quickly again. That was ridiculous. What are we going to see from the Salmon Schafter? I don't know what to expect from it. I really don't know what we're going to see. I mean, if it beats the Dukes, we've raced that car before. If it beats the Dukes, then we know we've got decent performance in comparison to the Pumobile. We will know that it's got good performance in comparison to that one. Oh, we've got one bet on us. Thank you, good sir. Indeed. Right. A launch might not be great in my car, I will be honest. Oh, why are we wheeling? That's not good. Wheelie's bad. Wheelie's bad. Why have we done that in a Schafter? That is not the expected outcome. Apparently the Super Saloon will go for wheelies. I mean, we might have caused some issues for the Retro Comet. We are actually flying away now from the pack. I don't think we've got anywhere near the speed of that 25.3 from the Schafter. We've not got the speed of the drag car. The drag car, oh, the two Mambas were very close, and the Comet I screwed over slightly. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. We won. Oh yeah, people pointed out last time, I didn't actually realise, of course, I won the, well, essentially $15,000 bet, but it's $15,000 from each car that I beat, so I've won almost 50 grand in that race. That's a big win. That's a very, very big win for me. Helped by me slightly coming across on everybody at the start of that race. There was no expectation of wheelies about the Schafter. I did not know it could do that. This is with the wheelie still set to realistic, so it's not just every single car with enough grip will wheelie. It's generally the muscle cars that wheelie. I didn't know that the sports cars could do it as well. I'm not surprised to see the Dragster Sabre go for it. I don't know what's going on with the Omnis over there, but he's prattling around. That was a thing. I am going to quickly set up my own race because I do not want to go anywhere near that thing. That is brutal. The Ballista, he might have a race. He's generally a good sport, actually, the Ballista, for accepting challenges. The Mamba doesn't actually have very much money. Omnis, good sir. Or is he actually, he might be racing in this one, so he might not have any money to play with anyway. Well, I guess we've got to kind of go against the Feltzer. We'll see what the Feltzer can manage. Feltzer surprisingly doesn't bring much cash to the race compared to the Ballista having 50 grand. We'll challenge the Mamba. I don't think the Mamba wants to race. Mamba's refused. So what about this Mamba? Will he ever go? He might not be up for it, having just been beaten. Nope. What about Mamba Jukes? He has accepted. Okay, so we will have... it should be a half-decent money race between the rest of us. Oh, quick, let's get spectate mode going on for this, because they are about to get underway. The Omnis was in this, the Carabinese was in this. I didn't see the other ones particularly. The Zion, the Panto is in. Oh, I want a sleeper Panto. I want like a horrendously fast, wheeling, backflipping Panto. As we're off the line, the Omnis will get away, and the Omnis will outdrag just about everything, but it is going to run out of speed, or it's likely to run out of top speed. It is a little bit more cautious around that corner than we have seen from some vehicles. It'll then drive away. It is a big performance from the Omnis. However, I'm not sure as how much of the competition. We'll see what the time is across the line. It is a 25.6. No, it's a good time. It's about the similar sort of time that I was setting compared to the other cars. The Sentinel's lost control of it, and the Panto was not so good. Panto's got a little bit of acceleration, or some of the Pantos have got a bit of acceleration on the go, but yeah, not always. Not always. Oh, who's being a coward with this bet? Why are we only playing with $600? The Ballista Compact won't accept bets below 17 grand. Well, okay, we'll go 17 grand. I'm happy to play with 17,000, but I know that the Mamba won't do it. Oh, did that go through? I don't actually know. 17,000? I'm not really sure. Oh, of course it won't, because it wants 17,400. 18,000? And then the Feltz is the coward in this one. He's not willing to bet more than 1,000. That is the big downside of having the 4-car races. The different vehicles accepting or only accepting different amounts. You kind of end up getting stuck having the whatever the default setting is, and I don't know why it's been set so low. I guess occasionally it just sort of bugs out a little bit with some of the cars. But the Felter has plenty of money on him. He should be able to play with a bit more. I'm actually not in a very good starting position for this because we're liable to wheelie. So I'm going to point my car slightly to the left because I think it gets jerked to the right as we launch with the wheelie. So if we have it pointing to the left, it should straighten itself up. I'm hoping it'll be down by the time we get to the corner. We will wait and see, though. We will wait and see with the Schafter. Oh, it's a wheelie. The Felter did a wheelie as well. I'm sorry, Mamba. Little bit of a bump there between the pair of us. Are we going to go around the outside of the Felter? We are going to be braver than him, but I fear that thing is probably going to close up towards the latter half of the race. Here it comes. Has he got the top speed on me? Is he going to run out of gears? It's going to be very, very close, I think, between the pair of us. Hey, oh, a 24.7. Better run. Better run from the Schafter. 24.7 to a 24.9, and the Mamba and the Blister way down the order.
Who's next?
Oh, nobody betted on me, so at least we get about 10 grand from that race. I'll take that. That's not too terrible. That I think is a pretty good showing, actually, from the Schafter. So our launch is still a little bit questionable, and I think the uncontrollable... I love how... So the only car here with a wheelie bar is the one car that isn't wheeling. The uncontrolled launch is a little bit scary, quite frankly, from my Schafter. But that isn't helped by this course. I think on a proper drag strip we will be okay. So, yeah. I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to watch, because I want to watch this Sabre go again. I want to see if he can make his way. I suspect the camera will probably bug out and we won't get to see it. I love how he's bouncing around on the hydraulics at the start as well. It's brilliant. See if the Sabre can go faster. I mean, the Sabre I think did a 25 and that involved a crash. That's just how fast that Dragster Sabre is. I am not going to be beating that anytime soon with the Salmon Schafter, but there we go. So we've got two Mambas in this one. The Retro Comet that did get screwed over by me in our little race at the first race. Yeah, Sabre, it's probably not a good idea to try and start on your side. I mean, it's a very FailRace-y approved way of doing things, but not an ideal way in terms of performance. Here we go for the next race. Oh, we're going to be following the Retro Comet. Not the car that we want to see because the Sabre has vanished. The Retro Comet and the two Mambas have managed to crash into one another. The Sabre's binned it in the wall again. The Sabre's just too fast for this course. The Sabre, the camera is actually fixed on the Sabre, like on top of the Sabre as I was watching the cars. I mean, if he can come back with the speed through these this final section, that would be impressive, but I don't think he's going to. I think he's binned it again. The Sabre is a terrifying prospect if he gets things right. If he doesn't, well, victory is going to go to the Retro Comet. The Mamba crashed after the line. Another Mamba across. Oh, God, that Sabre. Oh, we're in a barrier here. My God, the Sabre is stupidly fast, but out of control. Well, there was a proof of concept with the Schafter. Track not quite working out, and bets are a little bit funky here. But we're going to go to the Sandy Shores Airfield, and we'll give it a thorough test there. Now, this Sandy Shores meet was, well, the first big meet that I did with the Pumobile, and the Sabre actually got me a lot of money. It did very, very well out here. It did very well indeed. It was beating the likes of Zentornos, so it'll be interesting to see how the Salmon Schafter will fare. What are we going to race out here? What do we fancy? Who's got some money to burn? I think the Kuruma does. Let's have a challenge over here. There are potential for some big money races now, especially if we get some of the supercars turning up. We haven't seen any of them as of yet. It is, oh, there's a wheeling Sultan. The Sultan got a massive launch from that thing. I think, if I remember rightly, we're looking for about 19-second runs, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't quite remember the times. I might be wrong that we were setting with the Sabre. We will see when that Sultan gets up towards the line. 17.2 and 18.0. Maybe we're looking at quicker times than that then. We have got Country Dukes up against the Sabre Turbo. The muscle cars are showing off at this meeting. I forgot to join the meeting, so that's my bad. That's why the challenge against the Kuruma didn't work, because I hadn't actually joined the meeting properly. I just kind of did everything on instinct. Oh, we've got an interesting collection of cars. I love the variety that turned up out here. We've got Zions, we've got, there's a Comet turned up. Not so many supercars have turned up this time. There's a 9F, but that's about it. There's a couple of Shafters / Swartzers. Is that a V12 like mine? I think it might be. It is. Shafter V12, 32 grand to play with on that car. We have got a what have we got? Oh yes, the two muscle cars. A very, very slow start from the kind of sandy coloured one. That Sabre is absolutely rocketing down the road. Look at that go. I'm jealous of that car. Oh, it's off to space with the Sabre. Then the parachute kind of caught it and floated it back down safely. A 10-1. A 10-1 down the drag strip. I can't do that. None of my cars are even remotely going to get near that level of performance. Well, we are avoiding him like the plague. It's a $22,000 bet between me and the Kuruma. We will see if we can get some more money out of him, because I think we should win it. I mean, we could lose a lot of our hard-earned cash here. We will see. I mean, this is the place we need the Schafter to do well at. I know it's not going to have the launch of that Kuruma, or I wouldn't have thought it would with the all-wheel drive. However, this getting a wheelie is quite interesting. We will have to wait and see what we can manage. I don't think the wheelie is as controlled as we got from the Sabre Turbo, as we are going to bounce our way down. It is good performance from the V12. I mean, it's not going to be good performance like a 10-second run down here, but I think it's going to be a 13.7. I'm liking that. Maybe it was a lot quicker than the 19s that I was thinking of. I personally can't remember. But that's a 13.7 is good down here. I mean, that's been beating, well, everything else that we've seen by a fair margin, aside from that crazy Sabre. I think it has turned up. I'm very nervous of challenging some of these cars. You know, you expect to be able to beat them, but you never quite know what one's going to have horrendous performance now, and that makes it interesting. For me, at least, it makes it an interesting mix-up. It's kind of a shame that as a player you can't quite do that level of upgrades, not without modding the game in other different ways to make that work. Because yeah, it would be quite cool to see options of making random cars into complete sleepers. We will have a challenge against you. You've got 53 grand to bet, or to spend on the racing. We'll give him a race. Just try and avoid that Sabre as best we can. Looks like the Comet is going to run off with a victory here. Doesn't look like it's massively quick though, and that particular Sabre hasn't got a 10-second run in it, 16.8. So that was 3 seconds faster than the Comet. Can't complain at that. Oh, we got some big money on the go here. Let's see if we can get 30 grand out of him, maybe. Oh, we can. I mean, this is a risky maneuver. I will be honest. This is a risky maneuver, because if it turns out that thing is horrendously fast, we could lose a lot of money. My car is good here. My car is very good here, but there is always that fear. In some ways, though, I'm more scared of an Ingot than I am of. I doubt that's going to have horrendous level of performance, because it's a sports car to begin with, but something like the Ingot or the Intruders perhaps might suddenly pull something massive out of the bag. Oh, my fellow Schafter is betting on me. Only one car has betted on my opponent. I think the Ballista might be about to lose his money. As I say that, we don't quite know yet, and we've got a really big wobble on the wheelies. That's not good. That is not good at all. He's going to beat us, I think. We've got a wobble on the wheelies, and then we misshift completely. Well, the Ballista isn't going to lose his money. He is going to win. Terrible run by me, a 15-4. Bad time. There's a lot of money gone down the drain. Yeah, we bobbled on the wheelie, and then I panicked and shifted too soon. I should have just, yeah, kept my head. Yeah, the poor decision making from me. But that's part of the fun. That is half the fun of having a manual mod like this one. Is that, yeah, if I screw things up, it'll cost you. It'll cost me the race. Cost me 30 grand. A misshift and a bobbly wheelie cost me 30,000. That's drag racing for you. That's drag racing indeed. The faded red Ballista has he has a lot of money, but he doesn't want to play with me. Funnily enough, shall we be brave? Oh no, the Ingot I don't think wants to race. What about you, Zion? What you've got some money. I don't think he wants to race either. Come on, guys. Anyone brave enough? The Schafter has accepted the challenge. The hot knife is a 17-1. That's not exactly fast. Down here, who else has got money? He got 63 on him. He might be up for some racing as well. Right, Schafter versus Schafter. I wonder if he'll wheelie off the line or whether he will get a smoother launch. That could be quite an interesting one. Is he going to go for any more money? Can we get a 20 grand out of him? He'll go for 19. That might help to recuperate some of our losses from that previous run. Right, if we bobble on the launch, if we bobble in the wheelie, don't panic, don't flail around, just focus on getting good gear shifts. Focus on getting the car sorted out. Make sure we don't lift, because we will, of course, be losing time. Provided it's not bobbling and going to launch us off the course. Doesn't matter too much. Yeah, it is a double wheelie from the Schafter. He has got more speed than me, although he has more bobbling around than I did down there. There are some spectacular cars going on here as we are going to run a 14-0. Not as good as the first run, but good enough. Half a second faster than our opposition. $19,000 will help out nicely. Moonbeam versus Blister Compact. That could be a fun one. I hope the Moonbeam has got horrendous, filthy power. I want to see a Moonbeam wheelie its way down the course and run a 9-second 9-second run. I'm going to challenge the Warrener because he's got lots of money to play with, and I think we can beat it. Let's see if he is up for a race. Nope, he isn't. The Moonbeam's doing some bouncing around. Maybe the Sultan is up for a race. Nope, doesn't look like he is. None of the Ingots want to have a go. The race there is underway. The Ballista's got turned around some reason and is, well, going to be in the walls. Well, that's not gone very well for the Ballista. I was going to watch the race, not really much point when there is, well, it's kind of that one-sided. Sorry, I'm knocking over spectators. Trying to find someone who wants to race, and nobody really wants to take part against the Schafter. 9F has, for some reason, no money. He must have lost it all in bets or something. You have some money. He will accept the challenge. That's more like it. Somebody wanting to play around with some money and race my... I mean, my Schafter's quick, but I wouldn't have said it was that dominating. The Ballista took 33 seconds to spin itself around. Poor car. Poor car indeed. Right, let's try another 30 grand race. See if we can get this one. Oh, he's only willing to go 29. Disappointment, eh? See if we can get the money back. If we win this, we'll get the money back up to a similar sort of level that we were when we bought this car. Overall performance-wise from the Schafter, I might have hoped, you know, at the very best, might have hoped that there was a little bit more in it, but it does still seem fairly comparable, fairly competitive out here. I'm not sure it's quite enough to take on the big old meats, but there we go. It is a brilliant start from the Schafter. In fact, it's a brilliant start, but a terrible misshift as we come off of the wheelie. Come on, we still got the speed here. We have still got the speed on the 9F by a fair old margin here. We're going to run a 14.8. Yeah, 17.0 from that. It's not a quick Audi that we're racing against here. It's not a quick Audi there whatsoever. But again, another poor run from... I say poor run from me, silly mischief. We're not quite able to get it back down into the 13s that we were enjoying in that first run. we've got to try and find somebody else to race. I wonder if the Lurcher will be up for a showdown. You've got plenty of money, but you aren't interested. Or Graveyard, as it is nicknamed in here. Comet, you've got plenty of money. He is up for a race. Brilliant times. Brilliant times indeed. Oh, there is. Oh, the the Roosevelt is up against. This is the battle of the classics. Roosevelt versus the Hot Knife. Looks like the Hot Knife is going to, well, take a relatively straightforward win in that one. The Roosevelt not particularly fast. It's not the worst car here. Not a very fast run. The Hot Knife, though, is similar time set as the 9F down there at a 17.1. Comet doesn't have quite as much money as some of the cars we've been racing. We'll see if he'll go for 20,000. He will go for 20. Probably not going to go for much more, but we'll give it a try just in case. You know, try and make the most out of these races. Nope, we'll just leave it as it is at the 20 grand. Can't be bothered over $700 here. Moonbeam is just crashing into the start-finish gate. Congrats, well done on that performance. Right, I want a 13. I want a 13 again in this. Oh, the Schafter's betrayed me. In fact, everyone's betraying me now. God damn it. Ingot, I like you. You can stay. I almost jump-started. And there was a panic. Oh, there's been a little bit of a kerfuffle. I'm going to be let off the hook massively here. I almost jump-started, and in my panic, grabbed the handbrake again. That was awful in all regards. Yeah, my panic grabbed the handbrake again, but then was very slow on the actual reaction time, and that didn't quite go to plan. Thankfully for me, the Hot Knife that was heading back in this direction freaked out the Comet, who swerved about and lost all the time. That is a massive let-off. That is an absolutely massive let-off for me. But I'll take the $20,000. I'm not going to complain at that one. Well, performance review of the Schafter is good. Perhaps sensible where you would expect it to be. Might have hoped for a little bit more. Wasn't expecting the wheelies, that is for sure. Might have hoped for a little bit more in terms of the straight line speed. But still, I mean, it was perfectly capable out here of beating some of the big guns. I'm not sure we've quite got enough speed for the likes of the Protos at that big meet. I think I gave it a go, but I think we will have to try and get a big old supercar if we are going to be racing amongst them. But that is going to be it from me. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.